A Tulsa budget can look great until the real trade-offs start showing up. Scroll for 5 minutes and you might think, okay, I've got options here. Then the details hit. The lower priced houses may need more work than the photos admit. That's the reality. A cleaner property could sit farther away from the side of town you actually use. The home with more space might come with an older roof and a longer commute. Or a layout that looked better online. Suddenly the question is not, what can I afford? The better question becomes, what is the price actually buying me? That is what we're talking through today. I'm going to break down what $200,000, $300,000, and $400,000 can mean around Tulsa, Oklahoma, where the trade-offs usually show up, and how to think before you fall in love with the wrong house. Because a cheaper home is not always a better deal. Spending more does not automatically make the purchase smarter. And around Tulsa, the same budget can look very different depending on the area, the condition, the home, the style, and how much repair risk you're willing to take on. If you're shopping anywhere around Tulsa right now, drop your budget range in the comments. You can just put 200, 300, 400K, or whatever number you're working with. That one detail changes the whole search. Let's start around $200,000 because that is where a lot of the first-time buyers and the budget-conscious people begin their search. For someone relocating from a more expensive market, this price point can look exciting right away. You see, actually single-family homes with a yard, a driveway, and maybe a few updates, and the payment starts to feel possible. Maybe something you've never seen before. That excitement is understandable. Here's where I want you to slow down. At this level, you're not always shopping for the perfect house. You are looking for the right compromise. That might be an older Tulsa home with character, but some needed updates. Maybe the property is smaller than you pictured. A different listing could have decent bones, while the finishes, they feel a little dated. In some cases, the home may be farther from the exact area you had in mind. None of these things automatically make it a bad buy. The problem starts when a buyer expects the $200,000 range to deliver everything all at once. Low payment, great location, big yard, updated kitchen, clean inspections, short commute, newer systems, and plenty of space rarely show up together in this range. Something usually has to give. Condition should be one of the first things you study. Pretty photos can distract you pretty fast. Fresh flooring feels good during a showing. New carpet smells great. Paint makes almost anything look cleaner. A remodeled kitchen can pull your attention away from the roof, the HVAC, and the plumbing systems, the electrical, the drainage, windows, or even the foundation. The expensive stuff usually does not scream at you in the listing photos. That is why I'd rather see a buyer choose a simple, solid house over a shiny one with major problems hidden underneath. Your future self will care a lot more about the healthy foundation than a cute backsplash. You can always add that later. You see, a lower price can still be a real opportunity though. Flexibility helps a lot at this number. If you can handle the cosmetic updates yourself, accept an older layout, or stay open to different parts of the metro, the search can really work. The key is knowing what you can tolerate before emotions take over. You see, painting cabinets is manageable for a lot of people. Replacing a roof right after closing hits very differently. Living with a smaller house may be fine if the payment feels comfortable. Driving further than you wanted can get old the second month. Every buyer has a different pain point. Yours needs to be clear before you start touring. Some people can handle ugly. Others are fine with small. Major repairs tend to humble everybody. That is the plain version of the $200,000 range. You're trying to protect yourself from hidden cost while finding a house that still gives you a strong enough reason to move forward. Now let's move to the $300,000 range. This is where the Tulsa search often starts to open up. More budget may give you better condition, extra space, stronger updates, and better location. Or a house that feels less like a project. That extra room helps. It does not erase the trade-offs though. Buyers sometimes think jumping from $200,000 to $300,000 means the problems just go away. They usually just change shape. Now the decision may be between a nicer kitchen and a smaller yard. Another home might offer more square footage while the finishes feel behind. A stronger location could push the price higher because plenty of the other buyers see the value too. This range can get emotional fast. You can start with a comfortable number, then a slightly more expensive house pops up with better photos, a better layout, and that backyard that makes your current search feel boring. After that, every property under your original budget starts looking like a letdown. That is how buyers drift into a payment they never really wanted. I've seen it time and time again. Before shopping seriously in that $300,000 range, know your actual comfort number. Not the top of your pre-approval, not the number that sounds fine when you're excited. I mean the payment that lets you live normally, handle repairs, save money, and avoid feeling trapped by your mortgage. In other words, avoid being house poor. That number matters more than what you technically qualify for. Around Tulsa, $300,000 can be a strong lane for a lot of buyers. Depending on what is available at the time, you might be comparing homes in Tulsa, Broken Arrow, Owasso, Bixby, Jenks, Sand Springs, Glenpool, or any of the surrounding areas. The important part is understanding that $300,000 does not buy the same thing everywhere. One pocket may give you an older home with updates. Another area might give you more space but a different commute. Some listings may look cleaner while giving you less yard, less storage, or fewer features than expected. The number alone does not tell the story. You have to ask what the money is doing. Is it buying me a location? Does the home reduce repair risk? Are you paying for square footage? Will the area fit your routine? Could resale be stronger because the house appeals to more buyers? These questions matter more than whether the countertop photographs well. At this price point, the smartest buyer is not always the one chasing the prettiest listing. The advantage goes to the person who knows which trade-offs matters least. If cosmetic work does not scare you, certain homes may deserve a closer look. When commute is the deal breaker, the map should tighten pretty quickly. A buyer focused on yard side, garage space, storage, or long-term resale will search with a different filter. That clarity keeps the process from turning into chaos. The $300,000 range gives you more room to be selective. Strategy still matters though. Without it, extra budget just becomes a reason to chase every house that looks slightly better than the last. Now let's talk about the $400,000 range. This is where a lot of buyers expect the search to get easy. Sometimes it does feel easier. You may see large homes, better finishes, newer construction, and in certain areas improved layouts, stronger curb appeal, or properties that need less immediate work. That can absolutely be worth paying for. Still, this price range brings different kinds of risk. The question is no longer, can I afford something decent? Now you need to ask, does this house actually justify the premium? This is a serious question. A higher payment should buy something meaningful. Maybe the value is location. Perhaps the condition is stronger. The layout could fit your life better. A newer property might reduce your repair risk. More space may solve a real problem for your household. Those are valid reasons to spend more. A slightly prettier version of a house that still does not fit your life deserves more caution. At $400,000, small mistakes feel bigger because the payment gives you less room to brush them off. This is where comparison matters. Look past the finishes, study that floor plan, that roof age, mechanical system, the lot, storage, drainage, traffic patterns, neighborhood feel, and the whole resale picture as a whole. A beautiful home can still be overpriced. Something quieter online may actually be the better buy. Photos are marketing, don't forget that. Your life after closing is the test. Another thing to watch at this range is lifestyle pressure. A lender may approve the number, your monthly budget still gets the final vote. A lot of people look at Tulsa because they want affordability, more space, and a better setup than what they had before. Do not give that advantage away because maxing out your comfort zone for a house that only wins emotionally, the right $400,000 house should make your life better and not just impress you for 20 minutes during the showing. Now let's put the three ranges into a cleaner frame. Around 200,000, hidden costs are usually the things I want you to watch closely. Near 300,000, the main challenge is balancing condition, space, location, and a payment without drifting too far away. Once you approach the $400,000 mark, value becomes the bigger conversation because the premium needs to be justified. Every range has its own trap. Cheaper homes can hide expensive repairs. Middle range homes can tempt buyers into stretching. Higher priced homes can make people confuse nice photos with a better decision. This is why local context matters so much. If you're moving here from California, Colorado, Texas, Washington, Florida, or another more expensive state, the Tulsa market may look affordable right away. That can be a good thing. It can also mess with your judgment. A house that seems cheap compared to where you are coming from may still be overpriced for the specific pocket of Tulsa. You need to compare Tulsa homes against Tulsa homes. Look at similar sales, nearby competition, age, condition, updates, layout, lot, size, commute, and buyer demand. A relocation buyer who skips that step can overpay while thinking they found a great deal. I do not want that for you. The goal is not to buy something just because it looks cheaper than where you're from. You want that house to make sense here. Let me give you an example that's, I would say, practical. Picture a $225,000 home with fresh paint, new floors, and photos that look great. At first, the payment feels comfortable. Then you learn the roof is older, the HVAC is just a bit tired, and the location adds more drive time than you expected. For one buyer, that property might still work. For you, it could be the wrong kind of risk. Now imagine at $315,000, a home that does not look as dramatic online. The layout works better, the systems appear stronger, and the area fits your normal routine. That house may deserve more attention even though it's not the flashiest thing in the market you've seen. A $410,000 property can create a different problem. Everything looks sharp, the kitchen feels great, and the space checks the boxes. But the payment wipes out the breathing room you wanted from moving to Tulsa in the first place. Nice house, wrong plan. That is exactly why the price tag does not tell the full story. You need to know what the number is buying. Sometimes it buys comfort. Other times, the money goes towards condition. Location, location, location. That can be the premium. Space may be the reason though. A newer home though, it might reduce future headaches. Better resale can also matter. The trick is knowing which benefit you actually care about. Otherwise, you're just spending more and hoping it solves the search. If I were starting a Tulsa home search today, I would not begin with the highest number a lender gave me. I'd start with the monthly payment that still lets life feel normal. From there, I'd decide how much repair risk makes sense for me. Then I'd narrow that search down. I'd narrow the areas before touring too many homes. After that, I'd compare each house against the local market instead of judging it against another state. The process keeps the search grounded. When buyers skip those steps, the wrong house starts feeling urgent. It usually is not. There will be another listing, another option, or another way to approach the search. Pressure makes people sloppy. A good plan keeps you patient. So what does $200,000, $300,000, and $400,000 actually buy you around Tulsa? The honest answer depends on how clearly you use the budget. A buyer with strong priorities can make a better decision at $250,000 than someone wandering around at $400,000 with no plan at all. The number helps, direction matters more. If you are near $200,000, stay sharp on condition and repairs. Around $300,000, use the flexibility carefully instead of letting nicer listings pull you above your comfort zone. And at $400,000, make sure the premium buys real value instead of just better photos and stronger emotional reaction. That is how you avoid regret. If you want help figuring out what your budget can actually buy you around the Tulsa area, reach out to me. Tell me your price range, where you're moving from, what kind of house you want, and what you do not want to deal with. I can help you narrow that search before you waste time chasing homes that were never really the right fit to begin with. Drop your budget range in the comments too, because I want to know where most of you are shopping right now. If you want more Tulsa real estate videos, home walkthroughs, market updates, and straight up buyer and seller advice, subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, I'm Kaleb Wright, the Real Estate Rhino, and I'll see you on the next one.